Hello everyone, a little video here and some images from Kostyantynivka showing some pretty heavy Russian losses. This is just a short clip, but you can see multiple Russian vehicles in and around the field, all stationary, just as one of them, a armoured fighting vehicle that's advancing, gets hit by a drone artillery or a mine, I can't tell which, but either way, it gets destroyed. There are multiple losses here, and I'll go through them in just a moment. Firstly though, another clip of the same assault is playing now. This one showing an armoured vehicle advancing along a field, following the trail left by past vehicles. A smart move, as presumably this area would be safe to travel on. It goes past one that was already destroyed on the same trail, but did discover a mine here. Then, it arrives near a small tree line and a formation of trenches. Here you can see 4 destroyed vehicles, one of them still smoking. It turns right and then looks to hit a mine and gets destroyed, adding its wreck to the field alongside the others. Quite baffling tactics really. 4 vehicles destroyed in the same area, so just send one more on its own to see what happens. Pretty much using that vehicle and its crew as cannon fodder. Ukraine also shared this image here of some of the aftermath, showing 9 Russian vehicles in various states of distress after this failed attack, all clustered around the same location, all of them wearing pretty hefty coat cages that failed to cope. Now the geolocation work here is done by Moklason on Twitter. He does amazing work and is one of the main accounts that I follow. Here's his working out with all the identified armoured vehicles highlighted. 17 is seen in total. Down at the bottom you can see the very first clip we looked at. So at the time of that clip, just one vehicle had been hit in that spot. You can see this one, the subject of our vehicle, is also labelled here. Just to the right you can see that 7 more vehicles joined the party and were destroyed in that same spot afterwards. Seriously, how many does it take for the guy in charge to think maybe this isn't working and we should try something new, or call off the attack? Ukraine was clearly zeroed in on this area. Moklason has also identified the vehicle types here. I'll go through them by number rather than write them on the image, otherwise it may get a little bit too much clustered. Number 1, a T-62, so getting the museum pieces out of the way first. Numbers 2 until 10 are unidentified armoured fighting and infantry fighter vehicles, more than likely BMP or MTLB variants, but Russia does have other types such as BMDs as well which can't be ruled out, although they are rarer. The next batch are all in the cluster of wrecks. 11 identified as being a BMP-1, 12 is another T-62, 13 a T-62, 14 a BMP-1, 15 a BMP-1, 16 is another T-62, 17 another BMP-1. So Russia didn't exactly send its best here. A bunch of old BMP-1s and old T-62s. Maybe the Russian soldiers now get a bit of a final destination feel when they get told to get into the T-62, since it's clear they're just cannon fodder. Before we look at where this took place, Moklason shared another excellent image. This is from the second clip where we see more Russian losses. It shows Ukraine's defensive lines in this area. So, there's a minefield, followed by laser barbed wire with infantry trenches and anti-tank positions set up. So it's pretty impressive. Given the number of vehicles destroyed attacking this trench, it's clearly working as well. So 2 clips, 17 vehicles seen in clip 1, 5 and soon to be scrapped 6 in clip number 2. All part of the same attack around the area of Kostyantynivka to the south of that settlement. Let's check the geolocation. So this was here, the push coming from the east heading west over the fields like so. The red marker is where that sort of bottleneck of wrecks were. This image doesn't tell us very much. First, I will zoom out a bit. So this was here south of Kostyantynivka, east of Vodyana. You can see our old friend Novomikhailivka to the north as well. That was a regular feature of the channel in the early part of this year, thanks to incidents like this, of Russia using my old command and conquer tactic of throwing as many vehicles at a place with the hope that some eventually get through. Well over 100 vehicles were lost during the Novomikhailivka offensive. This was here on deep states, so despite high losses, Novomikhailivka was captured by Russia. Things have since stagnated near Paraskoviivka. This was a big push here in the south heading west to try and gain ground and start cutting off Kostyantynivka and Paraskoviivka from the south. So not a direct offensive towards the settlement itself. Unfortunately for Ukraine, given the fact that Russia has many more vehicles and troops available and just doesn't care about the losses, these tactics do tend to succeed eventually. Russia is seemingly fine with using 24 vehicles and all the troops being hit by drones and mines and artillery if it means capturing a field, then throwing another dozen vehicles and 100 supporting troops away to capture part of the next field until eventually ground is gained and the settlement is encircled and captured. Here's Deep State's view at the start of May, and here the view from today. So not much progress in that time, a few small Russian gains, but nothing to make a song or dance about. I believe this is the first big major push we've seen in this region for a while though, so maybe after a lull and some regrouping, this may be the start of a renewed big offensive here. We're going to have to keep an eye on the area and see. And zoomed out again, you can see that this is on the eastern front, heading towards the south, one of many big Russian attacks taking place along this entire front. Russia is pushing quite hard all along the eastern front at the moment. And indeed, Russia is also pushing in many other areas as well, not only on the eastern front. Highlighted on this Deep States Maps image here are identified major pushers in the north here near Kharkiv, along the southern front in Zaporizhia and near Yorozhina, and then a number along the eastern front. So Russia certainly attempting major pushes in a number of areas. Some of these have stagnated completely, however, such as the one at Kharkiv, which has made little progress for a long time, and indeed the Russian forces in Vostochantsk, for example, are in quite a perilous situation. Others are making slow progress. I'd say the most successful area for Russia is the area around the Avdiivka region, which has been a success for them. So that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Now, a quick mention about the ongoing fundraiser for NAFO, featuring Sukhamima's channel patches to buy 2 vehicles for Ukraine. I'll also play 2 videos from the units who will receive the video. I'll also play 2 videos from units who will receive the vehicles. Thanks so much for watching, and take care, everybody.
Hi, we are soldiers from the 23rd Separate Motorized Infantry Battalion. We are in need of a pickup truck for combat, surveillance, and evacuation missions. We ask the NAFO community and charity fund Help 99 for help. Thank you for supporting Ukraine. Slava Ukraini. Glory to the heroes.
Ми бійці 143-ї окремої піхотної бригади виконуємо бойові завдання на Куп'янському напрямку. Звертаємось за допомогою у наданні пікапу та бусу для виконання завдань з евакуації військовослужбовців. Завдяки мобільності ми зможемо врятувати багато поранених, зберегти життя наших воїнів та досягти кращих результатів виконання завдань. Дякуємо друзям з НАФО. Слава Україні! Героям слава!